Welcome to Vintage Radio Cafe, your #1 channel for relaxing vintage audio restoration. If you like watching an idiot wielding a soldering iron, you've come to the right place. Watch Ray's attempts to fix wonderful forgotten radios from another era, way before transistors. Sometimes he even gets them working again. What could go wrong, right?
So, okay, day 2 working on the Telefunken radio, and last night, late last night actually, while I was listening to the hockey game, which we won in shootout against the Colorado Avalanche, I managed to remove the knobs using spoons and remove the glass plate and the backing, the white backing panel at the back, and I also removed the pointer, which you see here. So I taped it down, and you probably won't be able to see this, but I re-glued it with crazy glue, and I can still see the fracture point somewhere here. And I never trust super glue, crazy glue, whatever you want to call it. I never trust that. I don't think it's sturdy enough when the piece has to be under pressure, which will happen here. As soon as I put this back on the string, well, the string has to go over, under, and over, under the tabs, which you cannot see there, but there's a bit of pressure there, okay? So what I was thinking of doing is, don't know if I'll be able to put it on, but I want to give it a backbone. So I made this little metal spine, which, if I can line up properly, because there's two little dots protruding here, so I had to cut this piece of metal. I used a little bit of aluminum sheet. I cut away this shape, and I took the aluminum from an old Polaroid film can, old box that I had there. I always kept it, and it's not the first time I used that metal. It's just thin enough so I can cut it easily and bend it if I have to, but then again thick enough to have some sort of resistance, some support. So this is the idea. I'm going to put a dab of clear epoxy underneath and a little bit on top of it, so I don't make it too thick, so I can move freely. And with that, I'm confident it will never break again. But yeah, call me crazy. It's going to be super delicate work. I'll have to use like those pointers. Those are like needles to move it, you know, like a thousandth of an inch, a mil at a time. So that's the idea. I'll be back when I'm done with that. So okay, it's all done now. It's stuck in place with the epoxy, and it's pretty thin. So I think it's going to be okay, but we'll see, you know, once it's back in the chassis. So I'll let this cure for at least 24 hours, maybe even 2 days. I don't have to put it back on anytime soon, because I still have to clean the whole radio. So far, so good. Okay, folks, so welcome back to day 3 of the restoration of the Telefunken Concertino. Yesterday, while I was listening to the game on the Grundig, I pretty much finished cleaning the whole chassis. I'm really happy with the results. I also tested all the vacuum tubes, and I marked, you know, the ones that weren't up to spec. This one's almost dead. D2 output ECL 86, one is weaker than the other, a lot weaker. And so I'll order probably everything. Also the ECC 85 on the FM, really weak. Just almost in the not bad zone, but there's a zone between the green and the red, so it's like a yellow. So it's iffy. So I cleaned everything, and I used some of this, I love this stuff, Meguiar's vinyl and rubber protector. So everything came out clean and protected for a long time. All the rubbers, the wires, all that I could reach. I also cleaned all the contacts here, especially those guys. They were, I mean, not dark, they were black. You can still see some black at the base, but they're much cleaner now. So I feel confident I can start working on it. I've seen one video of a gentleman in the USA who's who overhauled it. Yeah, this one, the same radio. A nice restoration he did, and he shows that you can actually completely remove the power transformer, which I wasn't sure, but there's a connector here. I had to unplug. Also one at the bottom, and yeah, I should be able to do it. So it'll be much easier to put the cabinet in a chassis holder, in a frame holder. So I cleaned the dial glass, came out great. I repainted the back panel, which is only plastic, and I remounted the pointer, this one here. Seems to be holding, seems to be okay, so I'm really happy with that. I relubed pretty much everything I could, and I mean, it's buttery smooth. I'm impressed. Even the AM, this is the FM, the AM, I mean, it's smoother than a lot of the receivers, the more recent receivers I have. Those were stuck solid. I spent almost 2 hours on them. I don't want to use heat, so the shaft, the hot shaft, wouldn't, you know, start melting the knobs. So it takes more time like that, but WD-40 at first, and then light oil, like sewing machine oil, if you will. So they turn really smoothly. I'm happy with that. I hope I didn't mess up the carbon track. What else did I do? Okay, the holder for the Magic Eye, the EM84. It's something between plastic and rubber, I would say. I remember this guy on the Blaupunkt Riviera was a harder plastic, and when I tried to remove it, it just broke off in a zillion pieces. You can see that in the in that episode on the Blaupunkt 2540 Blaupunkt Riviera. So this one I also used some vinyl protector, vinyl rubber, so it should be good for many years. And lastly, I did the I know I should do the recapping the electronics before, but when I start cleaning a radio, I just can't help myself. I'm a bit of an OCD guy. So it came out really good, but what I want to show you is just compare with the other one. Okay, this one has just been cleaned. I didn't use Brasso to deoxidize the brass rims, which is solid brass. Okay, but what I did on this one, let me go a little bit wider. I've been thinking about this for a while, but I wasn't sure. So I got one of those paint pen. It's not a ballpoint. It's a bit of hard felt, but this is the extra fine one. So it's perfect. It's perfect just to go in the grooves here and redo the gold. Just the right width, and just to show you the difference. Okay, let me try to put them side by side. See the brass, how better it is, and most importantly, those gold lines. I mean, it's a hell of a difference. That's the kind of detail I like, to have a look at and to fix. So it's almost like brand new, right? This guy was so dirty. I thought the plastic was yellow. The piano keys came out great. I still have to deox and lubricate the switches, but already they're much better, much smoother. Yeah, the FM is a bit stiffer, but at least it holds down now, right? And the off switch. So it's slippery now, it's not in the chassis, but you get the idea. So I'll keep on cleaning this knob, and after that, really separating the power transformer from the chassis and start assessing the all the caps. I like to identify the caps and to mark them on the schematic, and use a bit of color. In this case, I won't have as much work, in the sense that I know it's this radio is working. I know the voltage is going at least to from the power transformer to the rectifier then to the tubes, and the tubes then to the radio amp section and the preamp section. So knowing that ahead of time, I don't have to take the multimeter out and check all the connections and if the B plus is really going where it's supposed to go. I know it's working now. So the first thing I'll tackle is to replace the main filter can, electrolytics here, and the rectifier. You'll have a better view once I remove it completely, but the rectifier is here. It's a bigger box than what I'm used to seeing. But with any luck, I should be able to fix it. The problem is, well, it's not a problem. It's just a question of how am I going to go about it. Am I going to do both at the same times because they're at the they're on the same assembly? Am I going to do the main filter caps and the rectifier all at once, or just do the cap, the recapping, and that's what I usually do? Then put some power on and see where I'm at on the voltage on the rectifier. I might do that, but then again, if I do that, I have to remount everything, reconnect everything, and I mean, since all the speaker connections, there's a lot of connections there. I might have to put it back in the chassis. I'm not going to start, putting free leads all to the speakers. I could use a shop speaker, but honestly, I wouldn't know which connector to use just to be able to plug in one speaker. So that's my dilemma. I don't know how I'm going to do it exactly. I might chance it. I might do both devices, at the same time, and then put it in the chassis and test it. I might. We'll see. So that's the roundup for today, day 3. And I'm going to do that and probably start doing the rest tomorrow. So stand by. Okay guys, so we're back. It's the next day, so that would be day 4 working on the Telefunken. I didn't do much today. I apologize. I didn't have time to do everything that I wanted to do on the radio, which was to start not removing the caps, but at least identifying all the caps, their position, and to correlate everything on the schematic. Simply because the weather's been pretty bad for the last couple of days, and I absolutely had to go out for groceries today, and it took me forever just to shovel my way to the car, shovel the steps, the sidewalk, then go do the grocery shopping, and then when I came back, it took forever to get everything inside the house and start unpacking everything. So no excuse, but that's what you get for being a Canadian in January. So, but what I did though, I did remove or separated the power transformer, and there were more connections than I thought. Those two going underneath, this one going on top here, hard to show, and this complete board also coming here on those 4 connectors. All this is pretty easy to remove, and there was one last one here at the back. This connector is really nice. There's 4 pins, but what they did, and I hope I can show you this, but talk about German engineering. I don't know if you can see inside those holes here. But there's actually a screw in each one of them to screw on this. Okay, so what I want to say, whoops, I got tangled up. What I want to say is that when I remove all those connections, those connectors, all the pins, all of them, they were, let me just move in a little bit closer. I mean, they're nice now, but they were black. I mean, pitch black. Last time I saw that, contacts being so dirty, so oxidized, were on the switches on the Marantz 2220B, a receiver I did last year. Those ones. Okay, you can still see the black, some of the black on the base. I imagine the whole pin was like that. So it's not a matter of using, it's not a job for a deoxit. It's really steel wool, and then I use mother's aluminum polish again, and then deoxit at the end. So it should be okay, at least better than it was. Since they haven't been moved, even if they were corroded and oxidized, I don't think it made a difference on the radio's performance. But then again, maybe it did. Maybe it would explain some of the low power and bad reception on FM, losing FM at times. It's possible. But anyways, I just wanted to do it. I always say, if it's anything worth doing, is worth doing well, right? You have to do it properly. So while I have it, completely dismantled, might as well do a good job of it. So it's I don't know, almost 9 at night. I'm not going to start doing the main filter cap tonight, but I'll get to it tomorrow. So this guy, I want to unsolder everything. As usual, if I can unbend the 3 tabs without breaking them, I'll be able to save the can and probably restuff it. I believe there are 3 capacitors inside, 350s. I'll see when I have the can in my hand so I can correlate with the schematic. But that seems to be the case. So, catch you bright and early tomorrow morning, guys. Have a good night. Okay, folks, so welcome back to day 5, the 5th day working on the radio, although I haven't worked on it for the past week because I had to take care of my brother, who I spent quite some time at the emergency room with him because he's passing a kidney stone. Second time he's been through that in 20 years. So the stone is still there, still suffering. We're seeing the doctor tomorrow. So all that to say, I was unable to work on the radio. But I did finish identifying all the parts like I wanted to do. So all the green stickers on the capacitors are marked according to the schematic. Also did this separate board on the transformer power supply, so I know what goes where. And I also managed to remove the big filter can. I got this one next to it. This is a regular size one. Also, on the grunding, it came from a grunding, and it holds 3 capacitors, but 250 and a 4. So it's quite a bit smaller compared to the other one, but still I'll have to fit 347s inside of this. I hope it'll fit. It's going to be a tight fit, I can tell you that. Really tight, but I should be able to do it. If not, I can always use terminal strips, but I'd rather not. I've ordered everything I needed after identifying everything. As you can see, I'm still waiting for vacuum tubes. The only one that was still good was the ECC83. All the other ones were very, very low, so I'm waiting for them. There's only 2 electrolytics values I didn't have, so I ordered them. I got them, so this column is full, so I know I have everything in stock. Same for the regular capacitors. Those I didn't have. And now this column is full. Those capacitors were on the volume and balance control. So the one I didn't have, I ordered. Brand new ones for the speakers. Couldn't understand really what the schematic meant. The pictogram for the electrolytic was different, but in the set on the speakers there are actually Elcos, so electro for the German, and I didn't have the right value, so I had to order them, so I got them. Also for this one, since the power transformer is going to be on this side, and there's enough space where it's going to go between it and the chassis for me to attempt to put a bigger rectifier with the with Manuel's latest board, the what he calls the MOSFET voltage dropper rectifier. So it's the same basic idea with 4 diodes for a full bridge rectifier, full wave bridge rectifier, but it has a potentiometer and a MOSFET to drop the voltage. So I'll assemble that when I get it. I already got the pot and the transistor, but I'm still waiting for the board. So in the meantime, I'll attempt to gut this capacitor. As you can see, 350s, okay, 350, 385 volts, and the can is also negative, so minus pole, minus polarity, gatehouse, which is the casing. So it shouldn't be a problem to reconnect everything. I didn't break any tabs. Guess I was lucky. So I have to save the can, save the phenolic plate with the connectors, and try to reconnect the new capacitors onto them. So that's the plan for probably today, or no, most likely tomorrow in the evening after I go to the doctor with my brother. We'll see what the doctor says, but the stone is not moving. They say they don't operate for any stones under 8 millimeters of size, and his is 2 to 3. So I don't know how they're going to get it to move, but it's really painful for him now. He's on painkillers for the moment, but can't be on painkillers for your whole life, right? So I'll keep you posted on that if you're interested. And I'll be back when I'm done with the, at least with the restuffing of the can. So catch you later, guys. Okay, guys. So I spent maybe 45 minutes, an hour working on the electrolytic can, and I got the top off. The with the Dremel, I grinded all the top side of the metal. So this is what we're left with. The ring with the connectors to the chassis. And this is what we're left with. And although removing this part, this plate was the hardest part, and it was really tough. When I pulled on the inside, it all came out like that. And I knew it was pretty dried up. Look at this inside. Pretty bad. And I knew it was like that because there was already some of the material coming out of it from the top. This hole is just for safety in case it blows. So the pressure has an exit to expel, to come out. But this is really bad. So I'm just going to cut the leads. And there's another ring I'm going to save. And you can see here the ground was on that ring, which was making contact with the top, hence making contact with the can per se. So the negative was there. Not that I'm really going to need it, but most of the crud out. And this we discard in a sealed bag right away. And there's even a plastic here. Probably to separate the foil, different parts of it. It's interesting how it's done. It's really messy and probably not too healthy. So let's seal this up as much as we can. And this goes straight to the garbage, right? Right. Okay. So this is the bottom part. Just have to cut off the excess leads, make new holes near the contacts, and get the wires out from the bottom and solder them to the respective contacts for each one of the capacitors. So I'll be back once I got this restuffed. Okay guys, so very quickly here, before I start restuffing the big electrolytic filter can, I just wanted to show you, I bought a strip of 10 47 microfarad capacitors, the right voltage I need. And I explained this before, why I prefer to use 56 when we're supposed to install 50s. It's just because with the 20% tolerances or tolerance, when I get 47s, I get very low. None of them are 47s. They're always lower than that. So that's why I prefer to start with 56. In this case, I can't really do it because I don't really have the space. The 56 at 400 volts are a bit bigger. You know, the circumference, they're wider. So I'll be able to fit two and one on top. So the three will go in with 47s. But just look at the figures, the numbers I got. You know, 43, 45, 42. 0.91 and so on and so forth. So I'll take the three higher ones, 45.44, 4467, 4460. So those three I'll just, you know, move aside so I know which one I have to install. But it just goes to show, you know, some people, like, I don't know, they sort of didn't believe me when I told them that. I said, well, yeah. And it's not a question of because they're cheap or the brand, because I tried different brand. Those are Rubicons, I believe, are they? Yeah. Sometimes I get other brands, Nishikon or whatever. I always have the same thing. With the 47s at 20%, they're always low. The 56, even at 20%, there's oftentimes they're higher, 57 or 58. So that's why I'm not a big fan of replacing the 50s with 47s. But in this case, I will do it. So I'll be back once I'm done recapping this guy. Yep. So I'm back, and I did this yesterday. I worked on the restuffing of the can, and this is what I came up with. All the three capacitors are joined at the with the negative of all of them. So in the center, I put a dab of hot glue, so at least those two remain together, they don't move. And all the positive, I've got their separate leads with different colors, so I know. So the white, red, and yellow are positive, and from the same negative or ground point, I ran a green wire, which is going to go to the can. So yeah, I drilled two holes. You can see them. So the idea is to fit this whole thing inside the can, like this. And this wire will be coming out and going back in, making contact with the can, rendering the can negative. And I've already drilled the holes on the phenolic cap there. And once everything's fitted back in, hopefully it'll work. So I started this last night as I was listening to the hockey game on the radio, and I couldn't concentrate. The end of the game was pretty exciting. So I stopped working. It was pretty late at night, 11:30. I didn't have supper because I spent the whole day with my brother again because of his kidney stone. But we believe the kidney stone has passed. It's been painful, a very, very painful 8 days for my little brother, but he's doing much better now. So I'm going to be able to work a little bit more on the radio, although I still have to go visit him and check on him. He has another appointment with the doctor on Sunday, just to follow up to make sure. So this is the plan for today. As soon as I'm done with that, I'll be able to start working again on the rest of the recapping on the chassis, and to fit back the can inside here. It's pretty far. Let me try to bring it in. Yeah, let me just move you guys. So, oh, this is so heavy. So all the wires are there, and what's particular is that they use yellow wires, red and orange. There's very, very slight difference between the red and the orange, but there is a difference. They don't go to the same place, and I have to be really careful. So that's why I will use all the pictures that I took before. Like I've said before, I don't really like the way the iPhone manages the colors sometimes, depending on the lights and all that. It's a very good solution, making videos with a modern iPhone or any cell phone, I suppose. But what I do like, what phones really have going for them, it's so easy to make a picture. I don't have to take the big camera out and focus and frame and all that. It's very easy with an iPhone, and you can can zoom in easily. So yeah, there's no way I shouldn't take advantage of that. Okay, and be able to reassemble the whole electrolytic main filter can. Yeah, should work. So I'll get back to you once I'm done with that. So yeah, okay, I'm done restuffing the big filter can. I cleaned it, polished it a bit, and reconnected all the connectors here. Let me show you the wiring here so you can see all of them have been soldered. All the wires wrapped around the connectors at the base, so I can use the top of the connectors as it's supposed to be to put back the wires in. And now I just have to check, first of all, if I have continuity between the can and the connectors. So let's just check this continuity first. So yeah, let's say I touch any of the those and just touch the wire I added. It works. Anywhere else on the can, all the connectors make good contact, I believe. Okay, so far so good. Now let's check the capacitance of all three. And the way I'm going to do this is just grab one at random here and front of the negative, which is the can. And let's see if we see a capacitor there. Yeah, we see the first one, 4485, not too shabby. Second one, 4411, yeah, still within the 20%. I would prefer them to be closer to 50, at least the 47 they're supposed to be, but I'll live with that. Yeah, a little bit over 44. So far so good. I think it looks decent. I straightened the tabs as much as I could, so I'll just have to refit this whole can. Actually, it's going to go like that. I tried to orient the all the contacts as they were, so I have enough leads to reconnect them, but we'll see. That's the next part. I'll be right back as soon as I get it in the chassis again. Looks okay. Nobody will know it's not the original inside, right? Which was so messy. Wasn't working for sure, or not properly at least. Probably was leaking like something crazy. So yeah, be right back.